Every single year, one game gets crowned the best of the best, Game of the Year. It's the industry's highest honor, for sure, but it's also the source of some of its biggest debates. A win can cement a game's legacy forever, but the real story here is what these choices tell us about the ever-changing soul of gaming itself. So let's take a look back and break down a decade of these champions. So what is the magic formula here? What makes a Game of the Year? Is it some kind of groundbreaking new idea? A story that just leaves you completely breathless? Or maybe it's just that flawless, perfect gameplay that feels so good in your hands. Well, as we're about to see, the answer to that question has shifted a lot over the last 10 years. And here they are, the champions. Just look at this list. We've got these massive, sprawling RPGs, multiplayer giants, and even these really intimate co-op adventures. This lineup, it's not just a list of winners. It's practically a roadmap of how gaming has evolved. So let's dive in, era by era. Okay, so our story kicks off right at the beginning, at the show's inception, where the first few winners really forged a blueprint for what a Game of the Year was supposed to look like: big, ambitious, and totally genre-defining. The very first winner back in 2014 was Dragon Age Inquisition. And right out of the gate, this win set the tone for everything. It showed that the jury prized ambitious storytelling and these huge, sprawling worlds above all else. I mean, even against the super innovative Nemesis system and Shadow of Mordor, Inquisition's sheer scale and polish proved that a grand RPG adventure was the model for a champion. Then in 2015, The Witcher 3 came along, and didn't just follow that blueprint, it pretty much perfected it. This game was a total landmark, raising the bar for what an open-world RPG could even be. Its side quests felt like entire main stories. It beat out some seriously beloved titles like Bloodborne, and there was even a bit of offstage drama when Hideo Kojima was barred from accepting an award from Metal Gear Solid 5. But honestly, nothing could overshadow the absolute triumph of The Witcher 3. And then, just when we thought we had the formula figured out, 2016 comes along and just blows it all up. The winner was Overwatch, a multiplayer-only shooter. Can you believe it? It beat narrative giants like Uncharted 4 and Doom, and it proved that a Game of the Year didn't need a 100-hour story. It could win on pure, electrifying fun, brilliant design, and just the incredible joy of teamwork. So that win really set the stage for the next couple of years, where the open-world genre wasn't just refined, it was totally revolutionized. These next years pushed the concept to its absolute limit, and it sparked one of the most heated debates in the show's history. What matters more? A perfect world or a perfect story? So in 2017, the winner wasn't just another open-world game. Oh no, this was a game that basically ripped up the rulebook. It was all about rewarding your curiosity, and it completely changed what players expected from a digital world. That game, of course, was The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and it was nothing short of a revolution. Its physics-based freedom meant one simple but incredibly powerful thing. If you could see it, you could go there, period. This wasn't just an exploration game, it was like an experimentation engine. It made pure discovery the main mechanic, and its win felt absolutely 100% definitive. Which brings us to 2018, and what a clash it was. God of War versus Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, this was the ultimate showdown. On one side, you had a perfectly paced, deeply emotional story that masterfully rebooted a whole franchise, and on the other, a technical marvel, a living, breathing world with just unparalleled detail. Now, while Red Dead actually took home more awards that night, in the end, it was God of War's heartfelt story and its focused, tight design that won the top prize. After that huge showdown, the next few years really proved that there's no single recipe for a Game of the Year. The winners got unconventional, a bit controversial, and they were all deeply focused on really specific, unique experiences. In 2019, the award went to Sekiro, and boy was this a statement. This was a brutally difficult game that demanded absolute mastery from its players. Its victory over a cinematic epic like Death Stranding immediately sparked this huge debate about accessibility in games. And all the while, a lot of fans were pretty upset that the year's real masterpiece, Disco Elysium, didn't even get a nomination. So, you thought a brutally hard game was divisive? Just wait. 2020 took things to a whole new level. This year's winner was a technical marvel that completely, and I mean completely, split its audience right down the middle. Yep, The Last of Us Part 2. Look, critics absolutely adored its bold narrative and its flawless polish. But players? Man, they were polarized like few games ever have. It won over two other massive cultural phenomena, the comforting escape of Animal Crossing and the addictive perfection of Hades. Its victory really proved that the jury still prioritized ambitious AAA storytelling, even if that story was deeply divisive. So, if 2020 was all about division, 2021 was the complete opposite. It was all about connection. In a year where everyone was craving it, It Takes Two delivered something totally unique, a game you had to play with someone else. I mean, as a co-op-only adventure, its entire design was built on collaboration. Its charming, creative spirit won everyone over, and it really stood out in a year that was kind of light on the usual AAA giants. All right, that brings us right up to the modern era, which saw the return of these massive clashes between titans, a few truly bizarre moments, and some new debates that are going to shape the future of the awards for sure. 2022 felt like déjà vu, didn't it? Once again, a massive clash of the titans. In one corner, you have the vast, mysterious world of Elden Ring, a game built entirely on player discovery. In the other, the polished, emotional, cinematic story of God of War Ragnarok. And just like in 2018, the God of War sequel won a ton of other awards, but it was Elden Ring's boundless sense of adventure that secured the ultimate prize. And come on, who can forget how that show ended? Right after the Elden Ring team accepted their award, some random kid just wanders onto the stage and delivers this bizarre, now infamous line. It was such a chaotic and hilarious way to end a night that was already filled with so much drama. After so many years at these super tight races and debates, 2023 felt different. It wasn't just a win for Baldur's Gate 3, it was a complete and total coronation. It dominated the show, taking home 6 awards. Larian Studios delivered an RPG with a staggering level of player choice, creating this commercial and critical monster that really felt like the culmination of the entire genre. And that brings us to the big debate of 2024, the nomination of the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. It sparked a huge controversy. Now, technically, the rules allow for it, but the gaming public, they were not having it. Polls showed an overwhelming 80% of fans were basically saying, nope, DLC is not Game of the Year. So, right in the middle of all that drama, the winner was Astro Bot. And this really felt like a victory for pure craftsmanship. It wasn't the biggest game, it wasn't the most hyped nominee, but its joyful, surgically precise platforming and incredible polish just won everyone over. It was this powerful reminder that sometimes the best game is simply the most fun to play. And believe it or not, the race for 2025 is already well underway. The early frontrunners are starting to emerge. You've got Clear Obscure, which people are already calling a GOTY lock for its polish. There's Hades 2, with its nearly perfect Metacritic score. You can never count out a joyful spectacular like Donkey Kong Bonanza, or maybe a dark horse with incredible narrative design like Blueprints. It is shaping up to be another incredible fight. So what does it all mean? After a decade of these titans, these debates, and these total surprises, what's next on the horizon? Will the future belong to the massive open world, the perfectly told story, or maybe something we haven't even seen yet? The only thing we know for sure is that when the next champion is finally crowned, it will once again redefine what it means to be Game of the Year.